Hey everyone, my name is Sammy, and welcome to the next part in my stream theory run of Dark Souls, where I will provide commentary and analysis of the game as I play it for you guys live. So, last part we made significant progress into the New Londo area. The intent is to try and get to the next Lord Soul. I need 2 more, and there should be one in this area once I get to that next big boss battle. So I'm hoping that'll be in this part. Not sure how long it'll actually take me to get to it, but we'll see if I can make it there. As I said, I already made significant progress in this New Londo Ruins area, so should be able to make it the next one, assuming I can, play fast enough. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to actually get there. So as far as I know, there is no actual bonfire really in that area, in this area where I am right now. So I basically have to use Firelink every single time I die. It's my main hub bonfire. That's the word I'm looking for. Which means I have a bit of a trek to work out. Oh yes, as you can see, the area does look a little bit different now, and that is because the very last thing I did in the last part was lower the water. As I said before, the area here was flooded to try and protect the rest of the world, essentially, from the dark rays that came from the abyss, which the New Londo citizens accidentally unleashed. So the still need to use these transient curses to make sure I actually can get through this area. Keep that in mind. Just because I went through it once does not mean I can't keep using these. I don't have to keep using these. So the sealers decided to seal up the abyss by flooding New Londo, basically sacrificing the city so that the rest of the world might be spared. It's an unfortunate thing. I'm not sure if it's exactly the right thing to do, but can't do much about it now. That's exactly what happened. And we're just here now. We need to get the Lord's Soul. And it's also unfortunate that we have to de-flood it, essentially. Reverse what they did. Because now we have to deal with those dark rays, in theory. We haven't seen one yet. We'll check out later. So, are there any more here? This lever didn't work before. I'm assuming it'll work now because I unflooded the region. Ah, there it is. I wonder where that was. Let's check out this new area. Some way it may seem bad that there's no bonfire here, but it's actually helped us out here in that because we had to return back to the beginning of the area, we're able to remind ourselves that, oh, there's a lever that we may have forgotten about. There's one of those dark raids. Yep, it does seem pretty tough. Huge combo here. Oh man. Yep, that's a pretty tough boss. Or not boss, but I mean, looks like I almost beat him, but if I was able to dodge out of the way, I probably could have gone through there. That's alright. Kind of wish I didn't have to deal with that gigantic enemy there at the same time, but new area. It's a challenge. It does not seem like it's one that's too difficult to overcome. see if we can fight it. See if we can overcome that. Because I'm, and also, well, another good thing about Firelink being the bonfire we used to get to this area is a nice 20 flask, like super kindled bonfire essentially. So assuming I can actually heal, I should have no problem basically brute forcing the area. Also, what I am on the lookout here is that item that I mentioned before. People who played this game before probably know what I'm talking about, but it's basically a really useful item here. I have to find that. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I believe I had to lower the water level before I could approach it. So I'm one step closer to actually finding it. Not going to fight a boss right away. Still a fair bit of exploring to do. If only to find that important item. Sorry if I'm being big here, but don't want to spoil things. I don't want to spoil things for people playing it for the first time or watching it for the first time. Just dispatch these enemies really quickly so we can get to that new area, and I can discuss that. This is an area we've already been, so. I wonder if I have to take out these ghosts. No, as long as I go down here, I don't have to deal with these. It's not waste time. So yeah, this is the, of course, the lower area where it was once submerged, or underwater rather. Now it is available to explore. Alright, so I see the dark wraith is right over there. Maybe I should just fight that guy. It's pretty darn tough. Okay, that's awesome. So, you can see why I want to seal this area. These dark wraiths, they do seem, especially if there are a lot of them, they seem like a formidable force to unleash. Crap, there's another one there. They are backstabbable, yes. Let's get these things to explode so they don't surprise me. Get rid of this thing. This is a really cool enemy design, I think. I really like a game in which one that is as long as this one. Playing for probably 70 hours now, and we're still seeing new enemy types. We are seeing some recycled enemies, like bosses that enemies that were once bosses are now regular enemies in the world, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually pretty cool that we're able to fight them, take them on. It's cool to see ourselves strong enough to fight them. But it's even better that the game still has unique enemies even now. That attack looks like bad news, so it's always better to not take the risk and expose yourself to attacks that look like bad news. Never a good idea. I don't know, something to look out for. Walls, okay, there's an item up there. Fog wall over here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but we were once up in the second level up there, and this area used to be just like water. So yeah, that's what it means by water level coming down. We can actually explore an entirely new area. Alright, there is a way up. Okay. And that's the item we see. Alright, it's another soul. That's pretty cool. Again, I'm looking for a specific item around this area. Pretty sure it's somewhere around here. In the meantime, exploring this area, I like how creepy it is. Between this and the catacombs, there are some really well done creepy areas in the game. Okay, I see a chest over there. Okay, I know where we are now. Picked up an item. We're on the opposite side of the upper floor. Check for mimic, okay. Very large ember. That is the item that I was looking for. See, that is super important, and well, it's super important in a way that it'll really help me out dealing damage in general. It's not, of course, it's not totally required, but it is a really useful item that definitely rewards exploration. Like, you could miss this area entirely, but if you're paying attention and you're exploring, eventually you'll come across this chest, and super awesome item. See, now with the very large ember, I can give that to the blacksmith, and that'll allow me to ascend my katana, my Uji katana here, to from plus 10 to plus 15, which is really awesome. I can finally unlock even more potential for damage here. So, I think what I want to do before I move on, let's get some upgrading done. I have a fair amount of souls here. From what I know, I believe this gigantic enemy here will not respawn, but the dark rates will respawn. So if I just like homeward bone back to Firelink, probably have to deal with the dark rates again, but that's not that big of a deal. Let's get my weapon upgraded. So we gotta warp over to the blacksmith area, so the undead perish. So this is good. We got one major goal accomplished so far, and this second one will be to beat that boss. Assuming I can get to there. Setting this weapon to plus 15 will help me out a lot.
Well, I'll be. That's a brilliant ember you've got there. For all my years in the trade, that might be the finest. How's about you leave that ember with me? I'm just an old smith. I'd give my left arm for a gem like that. Well, thank you mightily for that. Now, just leave the rest to me. Andre of a storehouse gets the job done. You shall see.
Okay, hopefully I have enough Titanite, stuff like that, souls to actually upgrade my equipment. So, there we go. I can plus 10 to plus 11. Let's do that. And again, let's see if I can actually upgrade it all the way to plus 15. Okay, so far I need chunks, and I'm assuming since I upgraded my Divine Claymore in a similar fashion, in the end I will need a slab. I'm pretty sure I have a Titanite slab already, so should be good to go to upgrade this. And yep, plus 15, I have a slab and I have enough souls. So I'm now maxed out my
Don't get yourself killed. Neither
my
of us
katana.
want to see
Awesome.
you go hollow.
One thing I just thought of this right now. One thing I definitely need to remember to do is leave my summon sign in the area. That's one thing I forgot to do when I was in the catacomb area, was to leave my summon sign and then help out somebody co-op against the Gravelord boss, as well as Pinwheel. Probably could have helped somebody with Pinwheel too. So those were two missed bosses that have progressed my Sunlight Covenant. But it's too late to do that. I'm remembering it now. So while we're there, let's go back. I wonder if I have enough to upgrade. Cash in these souls. Right, level up. Oh, I'm really close. I just gotta pop one. That really quickly. Okay, hopefully now I will be doing significant more damage to those dark wraiths. Fairly good thing. Let's make the trek all the way back there. Yeah, there are always pluses and minuses to bonfire locations in the game, as I said before. Like, it is good that I have to use Firelink essentially to reach the area. That way I could remember to check out those levers from earlier before. At the same time, it does take quite a while to actually make the trek back to the area because there is no nearby bonfire. Okay, where... I'm not sure where I would leave my summon sign. Probably... It must be far enough in so that, you know... be near the boss, because that would be my ultimate goal, would be help people boss. So I guess maybe don't put the summon sign just yet. I'm thinking I should find the location of the boss first, and then alright, I activated these guys, might as well take care of them now. Oh, item. Forgot about this one. Oh, good. There are actually multiple ways I could go. I guess this one being the fastest from here. There's also a way down back where I actually lowered the water level. And that would be a lot of people's, you know, normal way of accessing the bottom floor here. Because I decided to end the stream, like, go back to Firelink instead. Kind of, changed that. Oh yeah, there's a guy right here. Definitely don't want to overlook these. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can see the benefits of upgrading the Uji Katana to plus 15. one-shotted him with a backstab. That did not happen before, and that's a plus 10. I remember these guys being super tough first time I played. Now, with a fully upgraded weapon, like I'm using my knowledge effectively, and it's good. It might make the game seem easy, and maybe it cheapens the combat a little bit. But I think it's just rewarding good play and preparation, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's better in the long run to reward that sort of preparation. Okay, let's check out. So we're here. Should be able to backstab this guy. Okay, I think if I have my bearings correct, this is like towards the beginning of the area when it after you lower the water, head down, this is where you'd end up. So I'm heading toward the beginning of this bottom level. Most people would see or experience it this way. It is fairly dark in here. I could probably use my lantern again. Oh, okay. There you are. Let's fight out in a more open area. Uji Katana plus 15. Okay, so we can actually see we're in the other side of the Valley of the Drakes here. You can see all those drakes up ahead of us. The door is now open. See how these areas connect to each other. So one way to actually reach this part of New Londo is actually from this direction, but then I would also have to deal with all these drakes. I'm not sure which way is faster. Well, I mean, it might actually be faster if I just ignore the drakes, for instance, and run right past them to come this way. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I would be coming from over here. Using this lever. Alright, that in mind, I think... Do I want to get that item over there? Yeah, let me do that really quickly. See if I can just rush past it. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Am I super lucky here, or... I guess so. Let's get the heck out of there. I fought one of those drakes way earlier on in the game before. I think I proved my worth. I don't need to fight all of them at once. This guy is still following me. Okay. Eventually, we'll give up. So, probably don't want to leave my summon sign around here. Okay, let's check out what I actually picked up there. What was it? Not that one. Was it that I picked up? I'm not really sure. That's... okay, Brigand. I remember Brigand. Brigand hood, Brigand armor. I wonder how that compares with what I'm wearing. Let's try to compare Brigand. definitely worse. Better weight. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm wearing now. I wonder if I bring it up to +5, it may be better. I'm not sure. Brigand. Doesn't look too bad either. Let's see, 23 compared to 35. Probably would still be worse even with +5. I could do some research after the stream and see how they compare. Plus, the +5 rating compared to each other. In any case, let's continue forward. See those ledges? We were there before. Don't want to go that way. And one thing we can do is actually, I remember doing this before, is we can drop down instead of doing all that area we did before. I can simply head up there, drop down to here, and that'll save me a lot of time for future runs. Okay, there's an item there. That looks suspicious. I wonder. Indeed. Illusory wall. Strange that there's no message. So I will go ahead and leave one. Right, message. Geography, I think. Yep. Again, I think because of the move from this game's move from Games for Windows Live over to Steam, I think that's why we're seeing a lack of messages in general. The new server infrastructure doesn't have it, or isn't populated with as many messages as it once was. Okay, so and also with that in mind, it might actually make it very difficult to find somebody who would want to summon me. This seems like a good safe spot to leave one. I'll go ahead and do that. Cracked red eye orb, that's if you're interested in invading people, there are some right here, so if you can find a way to quickly lower the water level. Heck yeah, for that one-hit kill. I am loving this Uchigatana +15. Okay. Just doing a bit of exploration. Yeah, this is the beginning area again. Probably just a way to drop down. Just trying to check out if there are any items I miss. Seems like the only thing here is a way back and this dude waiting. Ooh, that's a nice surprise. Oh, I need to get my purging thing up. Ah, crap! I actually. Okay, one down. Thankfully, because of my super awesome upgraded Uchigatana, taking him out lickety split. Exploding skulls. Careful. Transient Curse activated. I should be able to get rid of these ghosts now. They decide to appear. Wow. Almost a disaster. Okay. This is a nice little trap to try and scare you. Throw a lot of enemies at you. But if you keep your wits about you, just as with any area in Dark Souls, you can handle it. Like, I think if you look at this area, the way it's designed, like, clearly there's a trap here, but also it would, like, they would expect you, that the game expects you to run back this way. So you might want to bottleneck those enemies. Try to fight them on one at a time. And also, I rightly got punished there for, charging into a room headlong and pretty much aggroing everything in the room. Maybe it would have been better if I tiptoed my way. Maybe tried to fight these ghosts first. Okay. Another real chest, that's good. Here, okay. Aha, that is a fog wall. A boss fog wall. Is there anything else here, though? Aha. Okay, empty corner. Dude. Doesn't seem to be much else here besides that boss fog. I'll try leaving my summon sign here. I don't know how long I want to wait because I actually want to, actually do the boss myself. Okay, so as soon as you walk over here, that's like, it counts as a new area, I guess. How about if I put it here? Can't. Alright, seeing as nobody summoned me in from over there, I highly doubt I'm gonna see anything. See any actual activity as far as summoning. If anybody watching is about to do his battle and wants help, my sign is right over there. Otherwise, I'll probably just head on in. I do have an idea for a message I can put. Need. Right. So, the thing about this specific area is that you need it's really dependent on another item to actually do. Otherwise, you end up just dying right away. And I can show you that item while we wait. I don't think there's going to actually be a boss here, or a summon here, so after we check this, I'm just going to go ahead and head right in. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the beasts of the Abyss. It's where, like Artorias himself, can traverse the Abyss. The Abyss is where we're heading. I think, assuming you get this item and you read it and you remember, you can probably remember to make sure you equip this item before traversing this area. Even so, if you play it for the first time, you're not necessarily... Yeah, it just disappeared. You're not necessarily aware that the area that we're entering right now is the Abyss. See, I believe there actually is a message here, I want to say. I'm not sure. Usually when I do this area, there's like a canned message built into the game to remind you, oh, need a ring. Just like the one okay, there isn't one. Maybe I'll leave another one here. Need the same thing. So, I have the ring equipped, I can do it. Again, there's no real indication that this specific area is the Abyss. Actually, maybe the message. What might be more helpful is try jumping. Like I'm trying to think in the mind of what a new player might think when doing this. Oh, this is a dead end. But if you put a message like try jumping, and that's an actual hint and not a troll, you might think action. Then they might, actually try that. You gotta think like, okay, why is there a staircase leading to a dead end? There has to be something here. There must be some sort of purpose to it. So, should I do the boss battle now? I suppose I should. No more further ado. Here, right on ahead. And if you are wearing the ring, you do enter the Abyss. Okay, 4 King time. So this is, in fact, a boss fight that'll lead to the Lord Soul. I'm not doing a good job dodging. I'm doing a heck of a lot of damage, so that's fine by me. And they're not doing a whole lot of damage to me either. So I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit more here. Yeah, I'm well suited for this fight. Usually I do this one last, actually. Ah, there it is. And... okay, that wasn't a good idea. Gotta be wary of my stamina here. There do seem to be attacks that can wreck me. So just from my observations right now. There's the next one. Yeah, usually I do this area much later, and like I'm even more equipped to handle this battle than I am now. Huh, okay. Did not expect that one. I think that's because when I beat this guy before, I usually kill them so fast that I don't even see like the more powerful attacks. Now I'm not quite as destructive as I was in those previous playthroughs. So I'm still pretty... Yep, there we go. 4 Kings done. So if you do that battle, when you're not powerful enough, it can be tricky because it'll just take you too long. And there you go, victory retrieved, Lord Soul. It'll take you too long to defeat each of the kings, and what will happen is those other kings will spawn in, and you'll have to be fighting multiple of them. And that's when it can get tricky. But if you come in well prepared, everything fully upgraded, as you can see, there wasn't all that much trouble. So I actually did this area much quicker than I thought. It's like only less than an hour in. So I guess let's just embrace that and head on to the next area. I have a ton of souls, so go ahead and level up now. So I'll leave dexterity at 35 for now. Endurance should be okay, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. And as with the other Lord Soul bosses, the only option now is to warp out of here. So let's warp back to Firelink. From there we can decide what to do. So that should be three Lord Souls acquired, and let's see when this guy actually, when he's sleeping, all you need to do, I think, is just attack him. And I usually attack him without the sword. You know, it doesn't really matter.
Well and wide awake. Not treat me like an old withering snake.
But that was a pretty funny, nice touch. Another way you could do is just wait. Wait for him to wake up, leave the area, come back later. But I think it's funnier that you have to actually attack a friendly enemy, or not a friendly character to make him available to talk to you.
I am pleased to visit some.
Say anything new.
The beings who possess these souls.
No, same.
As the prime.
Okay. Again, I don't have to actually
Farewell.
feed the souls to the Lord Vessel as I get them, so yeah, there's no point. It's going to continue on to the next area I want to get to. So, I think maybe one Lord Soul to go. I could head towards where that is, and I already know where that is. I can also... Okay, I know where. I know where I want to go. Let's head to... What will be the closest way to get there? Altar of this, Altar of Covenant, Daughters of Chaos, Altar of Gravelord. Maybe this one. What is the fastest way to get down there? Probably this one. Yeah, so oh wait, there's actually one more thing I need to... Yeah, never mind about this. There's one more thing I actually have to get before I get into this area, so I'll go pick that up. Okay, it's towards Analondo. Does she say anything new?
You've made it back. Very well. Go ahead. You may rest here. Even an undead requires repose.
I don't think that's necessarily new. It's always prudent to, whenever you see one of the NPC characters, the non-player character in the world, visiting them from time to time and seeing if they say anything new is usually worthwhile. You learn stuff you wouldn't have otherwise. Like, if you ever seem lost in the game, then a good idea would be to actually talk to a lot of the NPCs. Man, that is another great pleasure of this game, is revisiting not just previously met NPCs, but also previously fought enemies that were once like really, really tough for you to handle. Now they're not so tough. That's similar to the way the game lets you fight enemies that were once bosses as normal enemies. It's like any enemy that was once really tough, it's really cool to wail on them with a the higher level character. We return to older areas. I mean, that sort of enjoyment wears thin, but it's like something that the game leaves you in little trickles throughout the game as you need to revisit older areas to get to new ones. So, like, I needed to revisit that little pathway just to get to this area that's now open to me. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this thing is going to charge. And hopefully I can... Oof, okay. So we have fought one of these guys before. Much earlier on, but this guy seems to be a little bit tougher, armored. Bang bore helm. I think I have one of those already. I think it might have been a lucky drop from earlier on. There's enough enemy variety in the game to where they can introduce an enemy we fought previously, except you know, they populate the world seldom enough to where they're still interesting. Like, oh, it's you again. Good to see you again. Lovely to fight you. Really cool, I'm destroying them now. So, okay, we got to this bonfire here. So this is actually one way I could go. And I believe this way is actually in the direction of the final Lord Soul. But, I think I'm going to save that for a little bit later. What I want to do now is actually go to a different area, maybe as a little bit of a side quest, a change of pace, as I've often done before. If there's like a side area that I can go to change up the action a bit, I think I'll take that opportunity. Gotta be careful. You seem to want to gang up on me. Okay, so what I want here... Did I mean to do that? Alright, just these enemies in the way. What I want to actually get to here. Don't want to die before I get to this, okay. Oh, another enemy in the way. Pardon the delay, I just want to get to this one thing here. So this enemy drops the broken pendant, and this will seem really convoluted because, well, it is convoluted. So, let's see, broken pendant. Half of a broken stone pendant, the vine appears to originate from Ulasil. A powerful magic can be sensed from this ancient stone, yet men of this time can neither manipulate nor sense its power, which has a distinct air of consisting of both reverence and nostalgia. Even in the description, there isn't much of a hint there. There's just the mention of Ulasil, which is like, if you recall, sort of relates to, or should, you should be able to recall that as something that Princess Dusk said or mentioned. And with this pendant now we can access an area that we couldn't access before. you have to actually head to this area, kill this monster, this random, seemingly random monster, get this seemingly random item, and then you can head back. Actually, I think I'm going to, in the interest of time, yeah, homeward bound. So, right. So I do want to head in this direction. There might be a faster way to head to there, but I can't quite recall that right now, so I'm gonna have to bear with me as we make a little trek to through some familiar areas that we visited way earlier on. This is the forest, and now I can just like destroy these guys. This direction. Down here. It's a shame because it seems like this bonfire here isn't the one in this area, rather. I don't think it's a warpable one. I didn't see it in the list. Darkroot Basin. Yeah, the bonfire in Darkroot Basin does not seem to be warpable. Saved me a lot of time. So, okay, down this way. Yeah, occasionally the downside of, you know, the nature of this interconnected world can rear its ugly head. It's very rare that it happens, but as you can see here, in order to get where we need to go, you kind of have to make a trek through earlier areas, just because they decided that the bonfire here will not be warpable. And with that in mind, it's like, you have to make this run here. Not much of an option. So I don't know if you remember very, very earlier on, there was a crystal golem around this corner here. We fight it. We saved an NPC, Princess Dusk, and she told us about an area that's in need of our help. However, we couldn't get to there yet, because we needed the item that I just picked up. And with that item, now this thing here appears. See it now, in the distance. Now without the item that we just picked up, the broken pendant, essentially nothing would appear here. This area wouldn't be accessible. Which is like a really another really convoluted way to get to an area of the game. However, yeah, this area is actually the DLC of the game, the downloadable content. At least on the console version. The PC version had this built in already. However, the way to get to it was still pretty, is still pretty convoluted, in that you have to open the way to that area by defeating Ornstein and Snow. Then you can get to that area. I just went to defeat that blue golem, crystal golem. From there you can kill the golem, pick up the pendant, and now this thing opens. And now we're finally in a new area, the Sanctuary Garden. And don't ask me why it's so convoluted. I mean, a lot of people would say, oh, it's very much like Dark Souls to do this. You could say it's relative to like Ash Lake or something like that, where it's behind two illusory walls and then through an entire area. It does compare a little bit to that, but in my opinion, this area has has some of the best areas, area level design, enemy design, and boss design in the entire game. All like crammed into this hefty chunk of additional content that you might buy for the game. Can I level up? Yeah, I can. I don't really need endurance, but I have the level, so I might as well go ahead and do that. So, yeah, the convoluted nature of getting to this area is a little strange, especially if you paid extra after buying the base game of Dark Souls, paid extra to get to this area, and then you have to, like, do this really strange sequence of things to get to this area, to get to something that you paid for. You'd think that it would be a little bit easier to actually get to, but I don't know, it's just, in some way it is another strange Dark Souls oddity. You know what, I might actually, do I want to wait for, see if I can, you know, do co-op in this battle? I'm not sure. I think it's worth waiting a little while, but again, I doubt it's going to happen. In general, I think it's kind of funny. It is funny that the way to get to this area that some people would have paid additional money to get, or to buy, and access in the first place. It is funny that it's so convoluted to get here. But I think it makes sense once you realize the nature of the world of Lucille. This area, from a lore perspective, it makes some sense why it is so convoluted to get here. So yeah, if you haven't gathered, there is a boss here. However, I want to make some sort of use of my Sunlight Covenant and progress in there. On the other hand, it's like, I highly doubt there are people actually in some of these later bosses. Maybe a few years back when the online community here was booming, I'd have a much better chance, but now, with like Dark Souls 2 out, Bloodborne out, people have moved on. So, there are probably people still doing the boss battle, but what I'm saying is that, you know, they're so seldom that it's gonna be unlikely that they're gonna happen concurrently from when I'm actually putting my summon sign down. So I might as well just go ahead and do this boss. So right up to that, we're introduced to a boss in this area, the Guardian. And he's already kicking my ass, kind of. It's totally okay to put a tough boss right here in this area because you saw the bonfire is right there. I don't think I have my moss equipped. Definitely tough. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen right now. Probably going to have to learn his moves a bit more. My timing is way off. Okay, I think I'm gonna let myself die here. Not waste any more of these flasks. Of course, bonfire is right here, so we can just keep throwing ourselves at it until we figure it out. Try again. So right now we're like in bonus content essentially for this part of the stream. I did not expect to defeat get to the Four Kings in the first place, but then defeat them on top of that. I didn't expect to finish that so fast. Oh right, so Yeah, we're doing a hefty amount of damage, so as long as I can actually do the hits. Yeah, it's really tough to actually find an opportunity to heal. This guy's super fast. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Needed to heal at some point. Yeah, this is a pretty good battle. As I said, the boss battles in this area are really, really awesome. Some of my favorite in the entire game. And that's saying something, considering this is actually an additional part bolted onto the game. It's, you know, additional downloadable content and not part of the game proper. So yeah, these boss battles in this downloadable content are right on par with Ornstein and Smo in their design and their look and everything. Everything is pretty darn cool about this. I mean, right now, it's like I'm still seeing new moves that he's doing. He's surprising me. If I can figure him out, then I do a significant amount of damage to him. That's the trick, is actually getting to hit him in the first place. He's not going to let me do that. Oof, and my timing there was like really good, I think, as far as healing up. Out of stamina, so I definitely don't want to continue attacking there. Oof. Dodged in the wrong direction. Man. The area of effect after that really sucks. No, but this is a really good boss design. You know, I would say if you have the console version of the game, and you still don't have this for whatever reason, you don't have the Ulasil DLC, definitely worth buying. Of course, if you have the PC version, you have it already, but maybe you overlooked it just because of how convoluted it is to get to in the first place. So right off the bat, we're seeing a really cool boss battle. Setting the tone for what we'll see. Okay, that would have been a perfect time to hit him, so it's kind of a shame that I had to heal there. My timing is still a little off, and I'm trying to figure it out. Seems like that's the best time to attack him. His largest opening is after that setup. Wow. Still taking me by surprise, that one. That was a close one. Good read on attack there. Okay, now he'll let me heal. Now he'll let me heal. No, he's not gonna let me. Oh my! I think that was super lucky. He just barely missed me. If he hit me, then I would have not had the opportunity to attack him there. Guardian Soul. Victory achieved! Okay. So I believe I came from that direction, so I might be wrong. Might be heading right back where I started. No, this seems new. Lucille Sanctuary. Alright, considering, you know, what's up ahead and you know what the areas, you know, coming up in that general direction, from what I recall, I think it's better to leave all that stuff for the next segment, and which also means that we're leaving it on a high note. I like to leave it on a high note after a boss battle is a good punctuation for any sort of segment, so it's probably best to leave it at that. This mushroom over here, talk to later. Yep, talk. Probably talk to her first thing in the next segment. With that in mind, I will sign off, beating that boss, and can get to the rest of this pretty cool additional content to the game here. So, if you tuned in, thank you very much for watching. I will, as I said, I will continue on with this next part, and I think I'm really excited to try and analyze and critique this particular segment. So, next part should be pretty interesting as far as that. I did do a lot of talking. I did a lot of commentary on many different things. So it's not to discount, this part that you're just seeing right now. I think I managed to discuss a lot and provide a lot of interesting commentary, hopefully. Again, you can follow me on Twitter at @YamsterSam. You can also watch all the archives of this Stream Theory playthrough of Dark Souls over at my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/YamsterSam, and of course that is the same username as my Twitch, YamsterSam. So with that, I will see you next time. Later.